Ha! Welcome! And now we're gonna do a little practice for today's race. And yeah, so Nascar boy 92 Rex and the number 26 is gonna be on the steering wheel today. Man, he's gonna be on the steering wheel today. I can't believe it.
Clear the pit, hammer down.
And right now, that's the boy that you chew at. He has his girlfriend now. I think his name is, Haley? Yeah, his name is Haley. And he wants him to win the race. Yeah, he actually wants him to win the race. I think on Phoenix, he has his first girlfriend. I think it was in the 4th race. Yeah, this is the 6th race of the season. But now, yeah. Look at the 26 car. The number 26 car on that paint scheme looks amazing for 2021. It looks really nice. And that's just, that is car. That is, I really like the gray and the orange. Yeah. But there's a problem, there's something that doesn't match. It's a number. Yeah, it doesn't. The number didn't really match for the car. It kind of doesn't match for the car, but it still looks pretty good. Well, it kind of matches for the car, but not much. You need to like put like a white and then black. Yeah, maybe he might be. Maybe when he was in the playoffs, he might do that.
Good, bud.
I need fresh tires. I need fresh tires. Oh, I missed the pit road. Oh my god! You kidding me? It's now 10:58 for now, and we're kind of gonna start off early. Right now, Nascar Boy HOX is gonna go ahead and get to the garage. Right now, I'm with Nascar Boy HOX, driving in the number FS1. What will you do at Atlanta? Tell me how to regret. Okay, so until 12:30. Oh, it's still the race. Watch live. That is a NASCAR. For the day.
Let's go.
Alright, man, 26. Good job.
He was the toughest competitor in the history of NASCAR, and when I say tough, hard to race, hard to beat, and then if you wanted to get in a scrap after the race, you know, he would beat you up. He was a badass.
about breaking out the cost now. I think it's understanding. I was going to get back to him and just rattle him. I wasn't going to wreck him, but I got to him and just turned around. Didn't mean to really turn around. Meant to rattle his cage over. You off and you stand your ground. A lot of times it comes out bad, but a lot of times you win races too.
Well, Dale Earnhardt has gone out in front, but it has not been without incident here. Let's take a look at how he did it back in lap number 72. There you see, Bodine in the 5. He gets trapped on a slow
he
car.
can't do that.
And as he gets trapped, Earnhardt just drives around him and through.
This guy can't do that. Dale Earnhardt can't do that. He can't come up the corner. That's not right. That's not even right. He can't do that.
First time I
He's a
remember
squall.
hearing his name
He
was
got a
back
penalty.
in the
He needs to get a penalty
70s
for that.
when
He
I was
can't do
working
that.
at
He can't cut.
a little local
He
racetrack.
can't cut the corner
And I
like
was
that.
still driving. He said, if you
It's
ever
what
want to hire
I'm
a
saying.
race driver, you
And
got
also,
to hire
guys,
this Dale
don't
Earnhardt. He
don't
was
cut
racing
the
Butch
corner
Linden
in
last
NASCAR
night.
because
He
you
come
might
across
want
the
to get
start
you might
finish line
get a
with
penalty,
two wheels
and
up
you're
on
not
the
going to get a
wall, won
win.
the race.
You're not going to get a win.
He would drive that car, and you never had to question that you wasn't getting 100% out of it.
Just let you know.
I remember a few run-ins with Dale and Darrell. The one that I remember probably as good as any was at Richmond.
Here they come. Crowd's up, excited about this one.
He's running out of time. Darrell Walker running out of time.
He's happy now. Walker's on the inside, side by side. Down to the inside.
Oh!
Four cars. There he goes.
There's Bodine into the fence. Joe Beckman spins around. There's Del Walker. Chevrolet, and it is torn up.
Well, he wrecked me. When we weren't friends, we wrecked a lot. He would look over me, I'd look over him. Look, you're not going to win. Well, you're not going to win. One of us is going to get wrecked.
That was one of our first finds. I never will forget. Dale sat in the car, all leaned over like he would, and they were interviewing him.
Who do you feel hit who on that last thing between you and Darrell?
I just racing. They ain't going to. Me and Darrell's got to race week to week. They ain't nothing to do.
And his mustache went real wide and smiled. And I think that's why they decided to find us, was that smile.
When you saw the black number 3 come up behind you, you knew that you were going to have to do something. You were going to have to go faster than he was going. You were going to have to get out of his way, or you're going to have to race him to keep your position. And I think that's where the name Intimidator came from. When you saw him come up in your rearview mirror, the intimidation factor became part of the sport.
I can't tell you how many times I'd be racing him. I'd finally get by him. I go, I got by him, and then I look in the mirror and I'd say, you idiot. What'd you do that for? Now he's behind you, and you know what's coming.
The coolest thing about him was he had that big old bushy mustache and an open face helmet. Air coming over a car has a certain way when another car is next to it. He could feel it on his face. He would get to a certain spot on another guy's car and he feels the air inside the car change and he could sense it, feel it, then he would take advantage of whatever momentum he could pull out of it. I think Dale just turned on all his senses, not just his eyes.
Now here's the helmet we're talking about. Most of the drivers now run a full face helmet with a full chin bar, but Earnhardt is one of a few that prefers the open face helmet.
Well, there's pros and cons. Dale is convinced that
The helmet, you shouldn't be talking about the helmet, dude. It's the safest helmet in Winston Cup racing today.
well, but listen, you got to understand something. All I hear is, Earnhardt, he can see the wind. Now, you know you're a smart man. Ain't nobody can see the wind.
If it's blowing in your face, you can't.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
That was my saying, that Dale could see air at these racetracks. He would know where the air would be coming off of a car. It was almost like he could see it, so I said he could see it. I've
never been around someone who was so self-aware. He knew what was going on in the engine shop. He knew what was going on in the fab shop. He knew what was going on with the tire companies. He knew what was going on with the marketing companies. I would say from a grand scale, he had enough information, insight to every aspect of the industry.
The pit road, big thing. You got to remember, you run fast here, and you don't think you're going that fast coming down pit road. You hit them brakes and start sliding, it's going to slide to the inside.
He was the gravitational pull for pretty much everyone, and I don't think he ever asked for it. There was a lot of times where he didn't want it. Everyone could relate to him, even though he was probably one of the sport's biggest icons.
Every man on every crew has come out to the edge of pit lane to congratulate the man who has dominated everything there is to win in this sport.
There's really only one Richard Petty. Richard Petty was the king. For some reason, Dale Earnhardt just seemed like, if you're going to get to a scrap, I want to have him on my side. And if I want to have a beer, I want to have it with Dale. He represented the guy who came out of a mill town, blue-collar guy, had to survive, thrived, and never forgot who he was, how he got there.
His style off the racetrack was very warm, very personable. Loved the outdoors.
I know there's two Dale Earnhardts, but he didn't want you knowing that. Know that he had a heart of gold, and he cared about people. Not many people did know it. And then there's the shrewd businessman that's building this empire. It's just intensely competitive, obviously. Everybody knows who he was on the track. So you got the Intimidator versus Daryl's little brother.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the World 600, the longest racing distance on this NASCAR circuit.
As I come off turn 2, he was coming up to lap me, and I mean my concentration, my focus wavered a bit, and because of what a great driver he was, he's like, I better watch Daryl's little brother. He's probably going to slide up. And at the last minute, when I slid up, we're running 160 miles an hour, remember, but he's like pointing straight at me with his open face helmet and his bubble goggles, and it scared the man. I almost wrecked Dale Earnhardt. That would be bad on many levels. And his warning to me was focus. It wasn't like, you dumbass. It was more of a lesson to me. That's what I took from it. Was like, you better figure this out.
And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins. Welcome to Darlington. This was the very first super speedway built for NASCAR racing back in 1950.
Darlington is the toughest track on the circuit. Its nickname is the track Too Tough to Tame. It's narrow, it's fast, it's slippery, especially on a hot September Labor Day weekend. I mean, you can't imagine how hot it gets in a car at Darlington.
Now look at Michael Waltrip as he closes in on the leader, Sterling Marlin. He may be looking for the lead here, coming out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Michael Waltrip passes Sterling Marlin and takes over the lead.
You'd think, who's going to win Darlington? Dale Earnhardt. It's the track Too Tough to Tame. And who's tougher than Dale Earnhardt? Well, that day I was. We led the most laps. Over 200 laps out in front of Darlington.
Michael Waltrip may be having some terminal problems here. Boy, this will be a shame because he has been unbelievable today here at Darlington.
He may have a flat tire. It might be just a simple flat tire because he went up almost off the wall.
Well, that's what they're saying. Might be a problem. I think he may have a tire going down. That's why the car got awfully high and brushed the wall just a lap or so ago.
I just sat there painfully waiting while Davey Allison and Ricky Rudd drove by, and they ran 1-2, and I finished third that day. The way we'd been running competitively, I began to feel like I belonged. And I was at a point in my career where I said, you know, I can do this. I'm going to win one of these races soon. I know I am. A win's coming.
Oh, no, the car just turned. One car just turned over. It's Michael.
That is Clint Boyer in the 29 car and the 99 of Michael Waltrip. Michael Waltrip, second spot. Davey Allison just up in front on the point.
How's Michael doing out there? He's got to have a smile a mile wide. Yeah, I guess he does right now.
Just coming out of turn number 4, Michael Waltrip, number 30. Looks like it's lost the cylinder.
Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
10 years ago, we founded Loan Depot because we were confident we could deliver the American dream of home ownership to individuals and families across the nation.
Serving more than 27,000 customers a month, lowering payments, providing jobs, and investing in neighborhoods and communities nationwide.
We know what it means to put down roots and bring dreams to life.
At Loan Depot, we know.
Home means everything.
The Harry's razor is not the same. Our razors have 5 German-engineered blades designed to stay sharp, so you can enjoy lasting comfort. And we never upcharge you for high quality. Harry's, available in store and at harrys.com.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. When you have a 2-inch lift, when you have Goodyear Duratrack tires, when you have Rancho shocks and an integrated dual exhaust, when you have all that, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory.
At Domino's, we're more than just classic hand-tossed pizza for $7.99. We're hearty handmade pan crust, tasty gluten-free crust, foldable Brooklyn-style crust, and crunchy thin crust too. Carry out 3-topping pizzas on any of Domino's 5 crusts for $7.99 each.
Will Roman Reigns continue his dominance at Fastlane, or will Daniel Bryan triumph as the new Universal Champion? It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown live at 8 Eastern on Fox.
Even with high unemployment, there's still a need for hundreds of thousands of IT and cybersecurity professionals. My Computer Career could train you in as little as 4 months to be an IT professional, even if you don't have any computer experience. Go to mycomputercareer.edu right now and take the free career evaluation to get started in the high-demand IT and cybersecurity fields. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Want to eat better while staying in? Meet Freshly. We're here to help with chef-cooked meals ready in minutes. Skip the shopping, cooking, and cleaning, and get meals delivered fresh, not frozen, right to your door. Build your weekly menu today at freshly.com.
Nascar Xfinity Series. I am Nascar.
Up until 1984, I'd wanted everything. I looked like I was the next Richard Petty when I didn't win. When I got to the Cup Series, that was a real reality check for me that I think I needed. Understanding that, you know, it wasn't going to be a cakewalk.
Michael Waltrip, a fine third place finish today. Michael, you kind of rolled the dice there at the end, and it didn't quite work out.
Hey, Chuck, are you going to fire him this week? No way. I was never going to do it. We're going to be together a long time. He's a great guy and a great driver. Well, Michael, I'm glad to see all these fired rumors put to rest.
You know, I've been fired 600 times this week. Thrown out of my own ride. So everybody says. Of course, my car owner, Chuck Ryder, he's as solid as a rock, and I appreciate the world out of him. My girlfriend, Buzzy, who I'm fixing to ask to marry me one of these days. You marry me?
Hey, were you serious, Michael?
Yeah.
You were?
I got your ring in the truck. I just didn't know when to give it to her. I never did it before, so I didn't know how to do it.
Buffy, what about that? You ain't Chuck. Hey, guys. What do we do now? I don't know what to do now.
I first met Michael when I was in college, when I worked for the PR and merchandising licensing company that handled all of Dale's stuff, Michael's stuff. In fact, I lost my job because I started dating Michael. Not from, Dale didn't let me go, but the other guy that owned the company that with Dale, or was his partner, didn't seem to think that that would work. So he had as much confidence as anybody that he would win a cup race, and I did too. It's hard. I mean, I can remember sitting, you know, in a car in the infield of a racetrack at 5 in the morning just to beat traffic, and, you know, him just being completely consumed with qualifying and if he was going to, you know, make the race, and you know, I would be sitting there knowing that my fate, the whole mood of the whole weekend was going to be set based on qualifying, and that's just kind of how we lived our life. So.
We were in Bristol, started in the back and made my way to the front. And as I came off turn 2,
back up front, LD Oscar getting chased. Bad crash over in turn 2. Michael Waltrip has hit the wall hard. The car is upside down. You can see the car.
for some reason, I was the first dumbass to ever hit right where the Armco steel and concrete came together. Clobbered into the concrete, and the car just disintegrated. Or, as Darrell would say in his interview, it disintegrated, which is what we called it in Kentucky, evidently. But anyway, the car blew up, and the crowd went silent and just knew they had seen Michael Waltrip die. And some of the competitors run out to try to see what they could do. And when they pulled the metal back, there I sat.
Darrell, what an unbelievable crash that your little brother Michael had.
Just praise God, Benny's alive. I was standing looking right at it, and I couldn't move. I mean, I just froze. I never seen anything like that in my life. The car just disintegrated, and I knew he was in it. No, I thought he was hurt. I walked up there, and the car is gone. Everything's gone, and the roll cage is all bowed up. I looked at him. He looked up at me and winked. So, Mom, Dad, he's a Walter. He got a pretty hard head.
I was still sitting in my seat. There was no steering wheel in front of me. It was over there somewhere. And there was no floorboard under me. My feet were on the track. But I appeared to be okay, or at least in one piece. When they got there, I was coming to because I hadn't hit my head. I just got my breath back. And so, you know, I'm like, I'm fine. So I get out of the car, and they take me to the infield care center, and we get to the Infield Care Center. We get to the Infield Care Center. One of the first people there was Dale. My brother came, you know, and Dale was there. And these are tears of joy. This makes me so happy to remember. But he comes in and says, "Boy, remember this is the guy a couple years ago that tried to straighten me out." And he came in there and he looked at me and just shook his head and he said, "You're one tough son of a bitch, I'll tell you that." And turned around and walked out. and everybody in there laughed. And so the reason why I'm crying is because, you know, obviously I am one tough son of a bitch, first of all, but secondly, it was so awesome that we'd come from the point where the toughest driver in NASCAR, who had to straighten out Dale's little brother, now all of a sudden has called me a tough son of a bitch. And so when my buddies come in, they started letting people in. They're like, "You all right?" Yeah, fine. I said, "Guess what, y'all? Dale Earnhardt said I'm a tough son of a bitch. I'll take that."
I met Michael in the late 80s during that process when I was a sports writer, and I would talk to Dale, and he would talk about the tire at Richmond is so bad, and I'm talking about a Dover race, you know, and the aerodynamics there, and such there, and torque in my engine. Like, that's how he would talk about it. You talk to Michael about the Dover race, he would go, "They got a really nice crab shack there. I really like to go get crabs there. And I really like to go do this." And like his whole outlook at things were different. It didn't make him any less intense as a race car driver. His life was around many more things. So people didn't take him as serious as they took other drivers, because Michael was fun-loving Michael. A very strange event happened. It was probably '93. Dale called me and he said, "I just got this yacht. We're going to have down the Bahamas in June." He said, "I want you to go." I thought that was like, you know, winning the lottery, and it was. And he goes, "Yeah, Michael's going too." I'm like, "Michael who?" And he goes, "Michael Waltrip." Okay. This is this most strange combination of three people. And so that's where I saw the relationship with Michael and Dale start. You guys will be surprised. This is Sunday night. This is our dining room. This is what Michael Walker said. Right there. That's right there. Walker said. This is where Ty Norris is. This is where Teresa Diana Norris is. Taylor eats downstairs in the bed watching. Probably so. Okay, and here's Michael now. Yeah. Turning over. I'd like to add to that. He said. Here's Steve.
I feel like Dale always brought out the best in Michael. You know, he made him happy.
I gotta get some of these right here. Oh, I got these, my pair of shorts. Yeah. Your white shorts? Nah, these ain't them. Here they are, here. I got some beer shorts.
A lot of people think Michael's happy all the time. He can put on a good act, but Dale truly made him happy as a friend.
Dad and Michael's relationship to me was pretty odd. There's an age difference there. Dad and Daryl were, you know, fierce competitors. They were friends, but at the same time, they were competitive on and off the track in life, you know. And Dad was hanging out with his brother, who was much younger, and I just didn't see Dad and Michael being compatible as far as having a friendship. It just.
I think Dale loved Michael's fun-loving character, and when he went to the Bahamas, he just wanted to have fun. But it turned into more than just a guy you're racing on the racetrack, more than just Darrell Waltrip's brother. They became friends. I know Dale paid attention to everything Michael did, and I just think that Dale always believed more in Michael, probably than Michael even believed in himself.
I think Dad saw, or was curious even, as to what Michael could do in a really, really good car.
The common theme, you know, when we were sitting on the back of the boat or riding around the farm was you'd win in one of my cars. And he would say that a lot. I put you in one of my cars, you'd win. And I think that Dale believed that I was a good driver, but I hadn't done a very good job of managing my career necessarily. That kept me going. That kept me inspired. Mainly because I knew that one of the best ever. You can imagine just to get out there in a car.
What that means.
To start with all the non-sports dads, narrow it to the ones whose kids can catch almost everything, especially a cold. Meaning you. You're the one we make my Walgreens for. Join and get 30-minute pickup at Walgreens.com.
Walter, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? World's strongest man, Martins Litzis, to help you break down boxes? What am I gonna do to you, box? Let me break it down for you. You're going down! Down to the recycling center!
Hey, thanks, Martins.
You're welcome. Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Update your floors with Empire Today's $50 room sale. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for just $50 each. So when you buy one room, it's only $50 for laminate in the kitchen, $50 for carpet in the bedroom, and $50 for hardwood in the office. There's no limit. Buy one room and it's $50 for floors in each additional room. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today, I spent months looking for a job. I got nowhere. This helped me deal with that frustration. Things changed when I tried ZipRecruiter, because it works like a free personal recruiter. ZipRecruiter sent me great jobs. I applied with a click. Some companies even invited me to apply. I started a new job last week. This still helps. Go to ZipRecruiter.com and put ZipRecruiter to work for you.
Oh, this is a mouth-watering Marco's pizza. And this is a new build-your-own pizza bowl with no crust and up to 4 toppings for $7.99. Oh, yeah. That looks good. Marco's. Pizza lovers get it.
Working from home has let me dive deep into this year's bracket matchups. It takes experience and a little bit of guesswork. It's going to be a great tournament.
When you need a home loan without the guesswork, Rocket can. Rocket.
I always trust Palmer
cocoa butter for beautiful skin. This is my mud cap for my growing belly. It's made with natural ingredients like cocoa butter and vitamin E, and that's important to me. I'm Krista Horton, and I love my Palmer's belly. I went for anything but Palmer's.
It all starts with an invitation to experience Lexus. The Invitation to Lexus sales event.
Get 0% APR financing on the 2021 RX 350.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
This is my phone. It's my lifeline. It's also my new bank, Go2Bank, with the ultimate app that makes banking super easy. There are no monthly fees with direct deposit, a free ATM network, and I get paid up to 2 days early. Lets me lock and unlock my account, so you know it's secure. And I get 10 times the national average on my savings. Go2Bank. It's mobile banking at its best. Who's your go-to? Open an account at go2bank.com.
COVID may have knocked us on our heels, but this is America, and we're ready to fight back. So let's continue wearing masks, practice social distancing, and educate ourselves on the benefits of COVID vaccines. So join me and Clint and millions of other Americans, because when we all come together, COVID hasn't got a shot.
His winless streak was definitely, I tried to ignore it. It was painful to watch. I tried to just be as positive as I could every week. Forget about last week, let's move on to this week. But I never lost confidence in him, and there's a lot of drivers that, they eventually disappear because they don't ever perform well enough in whatever teams they drive for, and then they just kind of, eventually go away. For Michael, that man is a survivor.
I don't know. Anytime things don't go right, you look back and try to figure out how you can fix them. And I think I just look back and think, I don't think I was bold enough or confident enough to take a chance. When I watched some kids my age get a better ride than me, how do you, what do? You quit your job and hope for a better one? I just feel like if I had taken a chance, it might have paid off. That something would come along better than what I had.
Michael was talking to a couple different car owners and options.
I didn't want to settle. I didn't want to just sign it to be racing. Did that a couple times early in my career where I signed again just to know I had a job.
In the summer of 2000, we, at the time, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated had 3 teams, but 2 were in Cup and 1 was in the lower series. Dale said, I'm only going to race in Cup. And I was like, well, that means you have to have a 3rd Cup car. And he goes, yeah. He said, let's go to Napa and see if Napa would come up with us and go Cup racing. And I looked at him and I said, well, who would you have driving? He goes, Michael. We won't put Michael in. He goes, call Michael right now and see if he's available.
And when it comes to late August, September of the season, plans are pretty much set for the following year. And so my holding out hope was about to run its course.
So I called Michael and I said, hey, I know this is kind of a strange question. I said, have you signed your contract yet?
I didn't sign it.
We were like, don't sign it.
Maybe something's going to work out.
So we go in, we sit down. Dale and I sat down with the NAFTA folks. And Dale said, I don't want to do bush races anymore. I want to go Cup racing, and I don't need to hire a Cup driver. And he goes, well, how much money do you need? And he said, I'll tell him. I was like, $9 million. And they were like, okay, so they wrote it down. And he said, who will you have drive for us? It was Bob McKenna who did it. I'll never forget it. And Dale looked at me, and I looked at him, and I looked back at him, and Dale finally says, I'm going to put Michael Waltrip in that car because I think he can win. And it was like split-second hesitation, and I'm like, and Bob McKenna goes, "You really think you can get him to drive for us?"
I was with my mom. She was driving, and my phone rang, and it was Dale. And he was like, "Where's Michael?" Well, I don't know. I guess he's, at the house or at the office. I don't know.
The phone rang, and Dale said, "Get over here." And I said, "What do you need?" He said, "Just do what I said." And sometimes he was like that. And so I drove to his shop, and I said, what's up? And he said, "We've been to Atlanta, me and Ty, and we told Napa we wanted to go cup racing. And we wanted them as a sponsor and you as a driver. And they said they would think about it."
I just know for me, I just kept thinking this would be unbelievable. This would be the best fairy tale story ever. Dale's going to look like a hero for giving Michael the chance, and Michael's going to, get the dark cloud off his back.
And then Dale called and said, "Let's do this. Napa's in. We're going racing."
Well, my mom's going to be really embarrassed. I told her I got to ride with Earnhardt. I had to drive that truck, but they won't even turn the hat around. Dale said I only had to drive that truck until I won one of those races on Sunday afternoon. So when this thing happened, and I called him, Ty Norris and I called him. He said, "Are you sure now? I mean, we talked about this, nothing ever happened, but this is going to be a great race team right here. I think we're going to be a winner before long. The excitement of it is really good."
But there were a lot of naysayers. People come up to us all the time and say, "Man, if you were going to have that ride, why didn't you talk to me? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" I said, "This is what Dale wanted."
By that point, Dad had said several times, "Hey, I think the guy can do it. I don't think this is crazy." In my mind, we're building what is going to be the biggest and greatest and most competitive racing team in NASCAR. That's our vision, right? And, you're looking at Michael's record, and then you're thinking,
I think how lucky I am to be a NASCAR Winston Cup driver, and how fortunate I am to have a great sponsor like Napa Auto Parts.
The very first commercial Napa made, it was the first part of Michael making fun of himself in a national commercial.
And it's at times like this, looking around at the empty grandstands and listening to the silence of pit road, that I realize I'm at the wrong track.
And it was a huge hit amongst the fans. They loved it. And everyone would say, "Michael, you at the right track?" That commercial putting him in the national limelight, it brought what was a natural personality for Michael. It tied him into Dale Earnhardt.
Dad had been on the racetrack with Michael for all these years. He had seen Michael run all of these laps, physically been behind him on the racetrack and watched him go through countless corners. So if anyone could judge and be the decision maker on whether Michael belonged in there or not, it had to come from a driver that had experienced that track with Michael. They've become great friends. They probably had a million conversations about this. Dad probably told him, "Look, man, you got to buckle down. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to be marketable and do all the things off the track that we need to do," which Michael was excellent at. Whatever needs to happen, Michael does it.
Being teammates is about more than just helping each other win races every week. It's also about helping each other learn.
That's right. Michael's taught me that Napa Parts professionals can always help you get the job done right the first time.
Yeah, and Junior taught me how to do this.
I'm not taking credit for that.
So when Dad says, "Hey, man, this is what's going to happen, and I believe it'll work," everybody was like, "Oh, wow, okay. Dad, if Dale believes this is probably going to work."
And Dale loved to put that big arm around you and say, "I told you so." That was he loved that.
all the people you could chosen and driven that car, and you chose Michael? And Dale, like, put that big arm around people, said, I told you so. I told you he could get the job done.
It was mine and Dale's project. We did it all together. Who's going to be the crew chief? I don't know. Evanston's smart. He does a good job. Let's get him. Deal. Who's the spotter? I like my spotter I had a couple years ago. You want to keep him? Sure. Who's going to do PR? That'll be up to Napa. They got someone named Brooke. She seems kind of tough.
When I was assigned to Michael, I wasn't happy. I didn't like the things that I had heard about him. I didn't like how cocky he was with the media. He knew he was pretty savvy. He certainly didn't need a publicist to tell him what to do and when to do it.
I'd had some interesting conversations with PR people trying to explain why I didn't win again. And I think I kind of got sideways with most of them.
There was no hiding Michael's wins versus losses. It was 0 and 462, and it was talked about regularly. He just had this guarded, defensive aura when you went down that path. And I think that's because truly he knew he was a winner. He was getting his shot of a lifetime. And why did we have to go and focus on 0 and 462?
It was a new opportunity for me, and I felt like I needed to have a new attitude, and I needed to make sure I respected every part and piece of it, of that chance. And so I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and off we went.
This being the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, would you rather it be later on in the season?
Oh no, this is the perfect way to kick off a great season for us. We have a couple of months to build new cars and prepare for this race, so when we come to Daytona, we're as prepared as we're going to be all year long. We're fresh and we got our new stuff and we're ready to roll.
Daytona is our Super Bowl. If you just win one, it's still a big, big deal. If you don't win any race in your whole career, if you win Daytona, you're a winner. Okay, and that's the way everybody looks at it.
Welcome to Daytona, Florida at Fox Racing. We've been here all week for Street Week, and if you're joining us for the first time here at Street Week today, promises to be a truly exciting day of racing.
Dale, welcome to Totally NASCAR. Great to be here. It's great to be back in Daytona and try to win some of these races. How about as a car owner? You've got Michael Waltrip joining Dale Jr.
Michael's doing a great job out there in practicing and drafting. I want to see how he does in the qualifying race on Thursday, which I'm in that same race that night.
It all starts with an invitation to experience Lexus. The Invitation to Lexus sales event.
Get 0% APR financing on the 2021 NX300.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Millions of people are saying yes to Allegra, including the experts. It's the #1 allergist-recommended brand for non-drowsy relief. Allegra works 2 times faster than Claritin, so you can get going first thing. It lasts up to 6 times longer than Benadryl, giving you relief through the late shift. And unlike Zyrtec, Allegra is non-drowsy for all your non-stop adventures. Join the millions saying yes to Allegra. And for allergy relief with a powerful decongestant, find Allegra D behind the pharmacy counter.
I'm David Collado. I chose the Smart Cash Card from Capital One because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy. Last year, I redeemed $21,000 in cash back, which I used for new equipment to expand production. What's in your wallet?
Can we even afford this house?
I'm pretty sure we can.
Pretty sure. With Rocket Mortgage, you can be certain.
What's the difference?
I'm pretty sure these owners aren't the murdering type.
Certain is better.
Let's go with certain.
When you need to be certain about how much home you can afford, Rocket can. Introducing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. It's made with real fruit juice. It's 6 times filtered. No added sugar. No artificial aftertaste. It is USDA certified organic. It's a cut above. New Mango Apricot Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. As real as it
by today's $50 room sale. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for just $50 each. So when you buy one room, it's only $50 for laminate in the kitchen, $50 for carpet in the bedroom, and $50 for hardwood in the office. There's no limit. Buy one room, and it's $50 for floors in each additional room. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 and buy today. It all starts with an invitation to experience Lexus. The Invitation to Lexus sales event.
Lease the 2021 IS 300 for $359 a month for 36 months and we'll make your first month's payment.
Experience amazing.
Big dreams, bigger Bass on the biggest stage. It's the Bassmaster Elite Series live on Pickwick Lake tomorrow on FS1.
Even with high unemployment, there's still a need for hundreds of thousands of IT and cybersecurity professionals. My Computer Career could train you in as little as 4 months to be an IT professional, even if you don't have any computer experience. Go to mycomputercareer.edu right now and take the free career evaluation to get started in the high-demand IT and cybersecurity fields. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
So you have the ice cream with Oreos, crushed, then you have Oreos in the cookie dough.
Tastes so cookie-y.
Cookie-y.
I don't think you can ever have too much cookie.
Sonic Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae. Cookie-y.
It's Thursday afternoon. It's the qualifying races. We're racing to get our starting spots in the Daytona 500. I was up in the top 5, 6 when I was running through third gear. Instead of shifting at the perfect time, I was focused on making a move, and I'm like, the engine hit the rev limiter, and I lost all my power. And when that happened, cars start going by me, and I grab the board, and it's too late. And I finished 9th, I think, in my qualifying race, a race that I had put myself in a position to win. You're talking about beating yourself up. Like, that's a rookie mistake. And you're 16 years in. You can't do that. I would tell myself, and I would tell Buffy, and I would tell my team. And I was not looking forward to seeing Dale. Two days before the 500, and I'm walking toward my bus, and as I'm heading that way, I pass Dale's bus, and the door swings open. He said, "Hey, get in here." I'm like, I walked in and I said, "Hey man, I'm sorry, that's my fault." He said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I should have won that damn race. I messed up." He said, "No, you shouldn't have. I should have won it. You shouldn't have won it. That don't matter. That was yesterday. Here's how we're going to win the Daytona 500. It was so awesome to hear his response to what I had dwelled on for 24 hours and his focus on the prize, what mattered. And Dale's like, "We got to work together. We got to push. We got to shove. We got to push each other. We got to hang together. Me and you and Dale Jr. We get to the front. When we get to the front, we're going to stay there."
Awesome.
We were going to work together. We were going to draft together. We were going to push. And I found that I loved it. Like I said, yeah, that's perfect. Let's do it. But I also didn't find it to be overly realistic because, I'm starting 20th, I think, back that way somewhere. And he's up front and Dale Jr.'s somewhere in between. And there's 39 other cars out there. How are you going to do that?
I remember Dad telling me and Michael that we needed to all work together because he goes, "Man, if all three of us help each other all day, just us, one of us will win." And I'm like, "That's a crazy plan. No, it's not going to." I'm saying this in my head, I wouldn't. I'm like, yeah, let's all work together. But in my mind, I'm like, that's silly. I'm just going to do what I need to do for myself. I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to win this race. If I win it, it's going to be because of what I did.
That's the first time I'd ever been in a meeting with a car owner that was laying out to me how we were going to go win the race. And I left that bus a different person. And he very specifically told me exactly how we were going to go about winning this race.
If I'm a crew chief right now, I'm really kind of concerned about how much tension these guys are feeling. This is the first race of the year, and there's a lot of tension going through the garage area right now.
Who are the great passers in this race?
First and foremost is Earnhardt. I mean, the man comes down here, he looks like he can see air. No matter where he goes, he gets the job done. And even Little League, Dale Earnhardt Jr. back there, who's been learning a good lesson from his daddy. He's going to be tough also.
The anticipation, the drama, the pressure building here as we get closer to NASCAR's greatest race, the Daytona 500, coming up here on Fox.
Entering the 2001 season, Fox was coming on, and Fox Sports was going to mean mainstream every week network coverage.
And so this was a big day. It was Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds in the booth for the first time.
I was living those moments. You don't realize it at the time, but I'm in the TV booth. I'm a nervous wreck.
I've never done anything like that before.
And the Daytona 500 get ready to start.
History, speed, excitement, it's all here for NASCAR's biggest race. We're expecting one of the biggest crowds ever. Nearly 250,000 people packing this legendary speedway. And the pressure building, the track, electric, in the end, we'll have one champion, one driver who will make his way through 42 other cars and 500 miles of track to decide who will win the Daytona 500.
The biggest thing you want at Daytona and Talladega, but Daytona is a fast race car. And there was no question. It became pretty obvious that DEI came to play.
Michael Waltrip had every excuse possible prior to entering the 2001 Daytona 500. Now he had everything he needed. What was he going to do with it? And that's what everybody was waiting around to see.
I woke up that February morning and I'm like, they're not beating me today. It ain't happening.
Big chance for even more people to know that Michael Waltrip was a value or Michael Waltrip was a laugh.
Rewind to the back straightaway. The cars were closer than ever. The draft was tighter than ever. Coming off turn 2, just as I'd gotten to the front of the field. half the lead pack done.
And here's another angle.
It's a big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway. And Tony Stewart goes for one of the wildest rides in recent memory of Daytona.
I sat in my car and I looked in the mirror and saw that black car sitting there, and I thought, wow, it's me and him and Dale Jr., and we're at the front just like he said we'd be.
And so I'm sitting there near the last few laps of that race going, well, Michael's here, Dad's there, he sees me. If I do something, he's going to go, why'd you do that, you know? And so I'm thinking, man, how do I win this race without screwing this up? You know, I want to win. I don't want Michael to win. I want to win. Dad can run third if that's what he wants to do.
7 laps to go in the biggest race in the world, the greatest race in the world.
Dale was using every line on the track to hold back. I mean, he was a one-man dam.
Sterling got into Earnhardt. Dale is doing everything he can to keep Sterling behind him because this is a chess match at high speed.
You know, I'm holding this field back to let my guys go. And normally Dale would never make a move like that. It just seemed like something I had never seen before.
Michael Waltrip leads the Daytona 500. Right now the car behind him is his teammate, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Jr. and I stayed tight together, and we kept pushing ahead. And Dale was the one that was in the storm. He was executing the plan that he had shared with me. And it was working perfectly.
I truly believe that nobody thought it was really going to happen until the car crossed the finish line.
2 to go, bud. 2 to go.
You're excited, you know, they're in the lead, but you also know that that can change.
You just thought something else was going to take that away. That never in a million years could 0 for 462 turn into a Cinderella story.
I was off turn 4 and headed for the checkered flag when my spotter said they're wrecking behind you.
Big trouble. Big wreck behind them. Come on. To the flag. Come on, Mikey. You got it. You got it.
champagne and family and friends. And it was just a beautiful scene. It was a beautiful sight.
God, I can't believe it's over. Now, let me ask you a question, Daryl. How much better does 1 for 463 sound than all that ain't nothing. It sounds all hung up on my record, I don't care. But I do know this. Me and my brother have both won the Daytona 500. That's right, brother. That's right, brother. Michael Waltrip has won the Daytona 500.
Just a flood of emotions and, relief in a lot of ways. It just felt like it was just going to make a lot of things that had been difficult and challenging to live with day in and day out so much better.
I think I was in shock. I couldn't believe Dale's plan worked like it did. I couldn't believe I'd won the Daytona 500. Couldn't believe all we'd been through to get where we were. We were going to go celebrate the Daytona 500. I just couldn't wait for Dale to get there. I knew when he got there, I was going to get the best hug ever. I was more excited about that hug than I was the trophy or the money. And, you know, that hug never came.
Schrader's climbed out of his car. He and Earnhardt have crashed together.
I went over there thinking he's going to be aggravated. And we all know what he was. It was very serious. So I didn't, I was surprised.
When I came down, I started asking Danny Culler, his spotter, like, what did Dale say? He goes, he didn't say anything. He said Richard's been calling him, but he hasn't responded.
I just thought it was another crash. I seen it on TV. It didn't look that bad. It looked like another tough crash. And I hollered at Dale, hollered at him a couple of times, and he didn't answer me back, which was unusual. So I started walking up through there.
This isn't what you would expect. You usually see the guys get out and, it just looked like it was taking a little bit longer for them to get Dad out or whoever. I couldn't even tell at that point really what the struggle was, what the holdup was, but it was a situation.
If we go off the air, as long as I live, I'll never forget. The ambulance comes out of the track. That ambulance was doing 15 miles an hour, maybe 20, just creeping down the road, headed to the hospital.
We were probably 15 minutes in to the press box interviews, and
I'm watching Michael, and I see Brooke. She looked at me and she went like this, like, stop the interviews.
And told them that unfortunately we had to cut the press conference short.
So that made me uncomfortable. That made me think, oh God.
When we got into the elevator, and Michael and Buffy were in this corner of the elevator, so my right. And I stopped the elevator, and I looked at Michael and Buffy, and I said, I'm so sorry. We've lost Dale.
I remember wanting to leave. I remember wanting to leave, and I think that's when the reality of it set in, finally.
Sometime between the elevator and the van ride and getting in the motorhome and getting, everyone else to leave, I guess it's just that fight or flight. And, I knew I had to be strong. So,
and then being in the bus, just in shock. This perfect day that I dreamed of turned out to be, one of the saddest days of my life.
As
Domino's, we're more than just classic hand-tossed pizza for $7.99. We're hearty handmade pan crust, tasty gluten-free crust, foldable Brooklyn-style crust, and crunchy thin crust, too. Carry out 3-topping pizzas on any of Domino's 5 crust for $7.99 each.
Bender, take one. Tonight's matchup, me versus the ugly fender bender. If I can eke out a win, it's going to be a miracle, baby.
Mr. Vitale, it wouldn't be a miracle because Geico gives you a team of experts to help manage your claim.
It's going to be a nail-biter.
No, the Geico team is there for you 24/7.
Geico is awesome, baby.
What that means is...
Too much?
I think we got it.
Yeah,
thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
Excuse me? What year is it, please?
It's a 79 ND. Run for your life.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Oh, I just remembered. Pompeii was destroyed in 79 AD, by the way.
What's the volcano called?
The volcano. So what volcano destroyed Pompeii?
Mount Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius. For real.
Not the same. Our razors have 5 German-engineered blades designed to stay sharp, so you can enjoy lasting comfort. And we never upcharge you for high quality. Harry's, available in store and at harrys.com.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. When you have a 2-inch lift, when you have Goodyear Duratrack tires, when you have Rancho shocks and an integrated dual exhaust. When you have all that, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory.
At Domino's, we're more than just classic hand-tossed pizza for $7.99. We're hearty handmade pan crust, tasty gluten-free crust, foldable Brooklyn-style crust, and crunchy thin crust, too. Carry out 3-topping pizzas on any of Domino's 5 crust for $7.99 each.
I am coming at you like a comet on fire. I am bumping, banging, and battling to the finish. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. I am NASCAR.
The U-23 men's national team continues their fight for a spot in the Summer Olympics. It's a spectacular Sunday at 6:30 Eastern on FS1.
Want to eat better while staying in? Eat freshly. We're here to help with chef-cooked meals ready in minutes. Skip the shopping, cooking, and cleaning, and get meals delivered fresh, not frozen, right to your door. Build your weekly menu today at freshly.com.
You gorilla tape that? No, why?
Gorilla Tape, of course.
Gorilla Tape is 3 times stronger for a hold that lasts. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Box Sunday.
Come on, come in, Jerry.
Pop Trivia can earn you huge money.
$250,000.
TV's biggest slot machine is going wild. Jason Bates hosts Cherry's Wild, all new Sundays, or watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu.
That one moment that he was supposed to have, in a selfish way, was robbed of that. Then you add in, that's my best friend. Oh yeah, by the way, it's my boss. Oh, by the way, he just hired me, and I just won the Daytona 500 for him, and I don't get to celebrate with him. When you start adding all those things, you start thinking about
We got to the hospital and I walked right into Dad's room, and I knew right away when I seen him that it was it was just as bad as it could be. And I turned around and walked back out of there, and we spent 30 minutes at that hospital before they finally told us that he was gone.
This is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make. But after the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
What are we supposed to do with this? The greatest icon of our sport. He just got killed.
They've come out to drop off flowers, balloons, a t-shirt, or even an old racing hat. They've come to say goodbye to their fallen hero.
We all sat down sometime the next week and said, you know, Dad would want us to be at the racetrack. He'd be real. And you hear people say that when they have a loss or they lose, you know, somebody dies. You know, you hear that all the time. Well, they'd want us to keep going, and but you do. I'll never forget. Dad would have really been pissed off if we didn't go race.
You know, we had to go racing the next Sunday, and I knew what my responsibility was, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do or needed to do in order to deal with it, and that was to honor my friend and
Racing will go on at Rockingham. Perhaps that will give these drivers and their crews a chance to get together in the garage, laugh a bit, perhaps shed a tear, then go out and race like hell to honor the man in the 3-car.
I've had an incredible week dealing with the loss of Dale and
so should you buy around does they take some stuff really however 3 lives expanded that money might be better spent. Possible to fix it. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around does they take some stuff really however 3 lives expanded that money might be better spent. possible to fix it. That means what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That scans on the guys. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan modification. It's possible to fix it. That scans on the guys. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan modification. It's possible to fix it. That scans on the guys. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan modification. It's possible to fix it. That scans on the guys. What that means is should you buy it on It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan on possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan on possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan on possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan on possible to fix it. That is on the that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds. That money might be better spent. Scan modifications. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds. That money might be better spent. Scan modifications. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds. That money might be better spent. Scan modifications. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds. That money might be better spent. Scan modifications. possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan on possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy it on it does, they take some stuff. Really, however, That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That means on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does they take some stuff. So big sense. Really however 3,000 that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That means on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does they take some stuff. So big sense. Really however 3,000 that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That means on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does they take some stuff. So big sense. Really however 3,000 that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That means on the what that means is should you buy around Coke here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off the walls or big sense. Really? However, 3,000 pounds. That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That scans on the emails. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy around Coke here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off the walls or big sense. Really? However, 3,000 pounds. You might be in trouble. That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That scans on the emails. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy around Coke here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off the walls or big sense. Really? However, 3,000 pounds. You might be in trouble. That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That scans on the emails. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy around Coke here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off the walls or big sense. Really? However, 3,000 pounds. You might be in trouble. That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That scans on the emails. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off. So big sense. Really. However, that money might be better spent. It's possible to fix it. That is to be that. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off. So big sense. Really. However, that money might be better spent. It's possible to fix it. That is to be that. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off. So big sense. Really. However, that money might be better spent. It's possible to fix it. That is to be that. What that means is checking your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off. So big sense. Really. However, that money might be better spent. possible to fix it. That means what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and makes sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications. Possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and makes sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications. It's possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and makes sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications. Possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around It does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and makes sense. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, you might learn That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own company? It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own company? It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own company? It does. They take some stuff. Really, however, that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is should you buy your own coat here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing off walls and big really. However, 3,000 pounds. You might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. It's possible to fix it. That means to be that. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own coat here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big really. However, 3,000 pounds. You might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. Possible to fix it. That means to be that. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own coat here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big really. However, 3,000 pounds. You might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. It's possible to fix it. That means to be that. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own coat here? He does. They take some stuff. Servicing it off walls and big really. However, 3,000 pounds. You might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. Possible to fix it. That means to be that. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around these dogs, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big sense. Really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scale modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around these dogs, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big sense. Really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scale modification. It's possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around these dogs, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big sense. Really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scale modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around these dogs, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big sense. Really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scale modification. possible to fix it. That means what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own these dogs they take some stuff servicing it off so big really however that money might be better spent possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own these dogs they take some stuff servicing it off so big really however that money might be better spent possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own these dogs they take some stuff servicing it off so big really however that money might be better spent possible to fix it. That is what that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own these dogs they take some stuff servicing it off so big really however That money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the emails. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the emails. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the emails. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy around it does, they take some stuff. Servicing it off so big really, however, 3,000 mechanics, you might learn that money might be better spent. Scan modification. Possible to fix it. That is on the emails. What that means is should you buy your own copier? Does they take some stuff, servicing it off calls or big searches. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. Possible to fix it. That is on you guys. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? Does they take some stuff, servicing it off calls or big searches. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. Possible to fix it. That is on you guys. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? Does they take some stuff, servicing it off calls or big searches. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. Possible to fix it. That is on you guys. What that means is check your engine light. So should you buy your own copier? Does they take some stuff, servicing it off calls or big searches. Really, however, 3,000 pounds, that money might be better spent. Scan modifications will help. Possible to fix it. That is on you guys. what that means.
Just heard about John Hendrick's victory in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. Just cemented him as my championship favorite. He did everything he had to do. In fact, he's done that all year long and finally avoided problems and got to the checkered flag first out in Vegas. Huge win for that young man, for that team. They put away Kyle Busch. Not many people can say they've done that before. And then look at Ben Rhodes. Heck, he started the year 2 for 2 by winning both events at Daytona. He won on the super speedway, and then he took the road course. This team also a solid championship pick. I can't wait to watch these guys tussle today and see all the slipping and sliding that's going to be a part of this race.
Yeah, it's always fun here. Looking forward to it, for sure. We've got a couple of big reporters working with us as usual. Regan Smith and Jamie Little, and we'll go downstairs, check in with them. Begin with Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Oh, shoot.
Hello, Vince. Well, it wasn't the start to the afternoon that Brett Moffitt wanted to see. When his team came out to the grid to fire up their truck and just give it a once-over, the engine went south in a hurry. They had to push that truck all the way back to the garage. They did a complete engine change in less than an hour. Now it's time for Brett to step up. He'll drop to the rear. And I know we haven't even turned a lap in this race, but I'm already giving the hard charger report. 25. These motorsports team.
Jamie, things are a little bit calmer from Matt Craft inside the pit road. He's starting third here later here in just a few minutes. When we talk about experienced guys, veteran guys, perhaps nobody more experienced in the field than that of Matt Craft at this racetrack in Atlanta. He told me earlier it's his favorite track. He lit up when he started talking about it because of how worn out it is and how much the driver matters. Matt feels like because of that, he's going to be one of the guys up there battling all day long to go for its first win of the season.
Yeah, those results have gotten better each of the 3 races this season. Crafton has had speed, and certainly one you want to keep an eye on today. Thank you, Regan and Jamie.
Driver, start your engine, and here we go.
Coming to the green, driver. You ready? Green flag, green flag. Got one ticket inside. My lane's clear. Got one inside. All right, you're clear. All outside. Hold your line. Clear all around. Got a car low now. All clear. Got a car high now. All right, you're clear. Got a car low now. Road's clear. Inside. All clear. Car there on your outside. Yellow flag.
And for today, and green flag in the air for today. And cautions up.
Coming to the green. Almost ready. Green down. Clear high, bud. 5 to go, 5 to go. All right, you're clear. All right, you're clear. Got a car low now. Got one inside. All right, clear outside. Got one down low now. Bottom's clear.
We're done here. We're done. Pedal issues. We're done.